Astrobot feels, looks and plays like a Nintendo game. To be more specific and more honest, Astrobot is a shameless ripoff of Super Mario. That's not an insult, that's a compliment. Astrobot is a surprisingly good Super Mario game. Copying Nintendo was just the right, necessary move for Sony, and if they want to survive, they'll need to do it again. Today we're gonna talk about why Sony had to rip off Nintendo, why they should do it again, what they need to copy next time, and why am I so excited about it. Let's start with some history.
The console war has been raging for the past few decades. A relentless battle between titans. Sony and Microsoft clash for supremacy. A battle for innovation. A war for your gaming dollar. While these two giants wage war, a serene figure watches from above. A silent observer. A master of its craft. Nintendo.
Everyone wants a slice of the delicious Nintendo success pie. A company so good at selling video games they've managed to rise above their competition. It's not always been perfect. Nintendo had their fair share of stumbles, but these guys learn and they learn fast. The Nintendo Switch is just one Christmas away from becoming the best-selling gaming system of all time. People love Nintendo games, but even when they didn't sell just as well, Nintendo has always been a powerhouse of unique, original ideas, and copying from these nerds is a tactic as old as time. You remember how successful the Wii system was, and how Sony and Microsoft had to come up with the PlayStation Move and Kinect just to keep up with this thing. Smash Brothers, Pokemon, Nintendo's ideas get ripped off every other Monday. When they do badly, they get unnoticed. When they fly too close to the sun, they get a lawsuit. God forbid someone forces Nintendo to do something innovative with Pokemon. Copying a good idea is nothing to be ashamed of. And if you're able to stay close to the quality of the original, or even surpass it, you should be proud of yourself. Look at Sony. These guys have been ripping off Nintendo for generations. Most of the time, they can't even come close to the quality of the originals. PlayStation All-Stars, remember that? It's just a degraded version of Super Smash Bros. Knack was just a bad Mario game, and Sackboy's Big Adventure is a decent Mario game, but I don't think anybody wants to play as a Sackboy. The list goes on and on. But why? Why is Sony so desperate to have their own Super Smash Bros. And Marios? Sony has their own thing. Spider-Man, Last of Us, God of War. Fantastic cinematic experiences you can get only on PlayStation. These games sell well and review amazingly well. So what's the problem? Well, those games are expensive as hell to make. They take too long to develop, and Sony doesn't like that. Here's another problem. These games are not made for kids. A significant portion of the video game market. Sony needs more IPs it can sell to both kids and adults that don't cost as much to make and take less time to develop. Introducing. Finally, Sony was able to make their own Super Mario game. And Astrobot is no downgrade. This is just as good as a 3D Mario game. Maybe not as good as Odyssey, but definitely as good as the older ones. Astrobot is a Nintendo game with the PlayStation brand smeared all over its face. And I love that. In Astrobot, you play as the spirit of PlayStation. Or you are a PlayStation, I don't really know. You go around the world in a PlayStation controller and save little cute PlayStation mascots from the big bad green monster that wants PlayStation destroyed. This is the Xbox. Xbox steal parts of your PlayStation 5 and you need to bring them all back and rebuild it. Okay, maybe they went a little bit too far with the branding. At some points it did take some of the magic out, but I still truly love that game. It's so different from everything Sony has done in the past few years. It has no dialogue whatsoever, it's colorful and happy and plays like a dream. Astrobot is a masterpiece, but it wouldn't be able to be one without Nintendo. Every single idea in this game is taken straight out of a Nintendo game. From the level selection screen to the most basic of movements to every single gimmick of every single level. Is that a bad thing though? No, goddammit. Nintendo doesn't make enough 3D Mario games. It's about time someone comes up and give them some real competition. Maybe it will make them make more. I'm sure Sony is going to make more Astrobot games. Without voice actors and motion capture, there's no way they cost as much to make as a God of War game or a Last of Us game. And they definitely have the potential to sell just just as much, if not more. Can you imagine the sequel to Astro? If they build on what they have right now, they have the potential to make one of the best games of all time. Playing a Super Mario with the production value and graphics only Sony can handle is something I didn't expect to experience this year. But I'm so glad I did, and I want more. I'm sure Sony will provide, but why stop there? What about a PlayStation version of Animal Crossing, or Mario Kart, or Metroid Prime? That could be crazy. I know I want these games, don't you? Of course you do. Oh my god, is that the PlayStation 6?